don't fucking care. They don't watch this anyway.
It can't rain all the time.
Fire
it up! Fire it up! And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
Fire it up! What's up, people?
And Steve.
The Crow!
That's right. We are going to be reviewing the movie The Crow, but before we do, let's get into that trailer.
Yes, let's.
It can't rain all the time.
Oh, Jesus.
Crow. I died while making it.
I think you see it in this, right there. I think it's that one.
People once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes, just sometimes.
What happened?
I hit a button.
Oh, Jesus. Let's try it again. Let's watch this one more time. Alright, that scene right there. Or that one right there. That's
People once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes, just sometimes, the crow can bring that soul back to put the wrong things right.
This is a very artistic trailer.
That was such bad CGI at the beginning of that. That was the best thing. And there you have it. We're
There's
not
the
watching
crow.
it again.
Mikey the Freak, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this
They
movie?
saw it. They saw it twice. All right. Let's see what IMDb says. A man brutally murdered comes back to life as an undead avenger
So it's about Brandon Lee.
of his and his fiance's murder. That might be too soon.
A little too soon.
Yeah, it's been 20 years. I guess you're okay. 30 years now. Jesus. So Brandon Lee plays Eric Draven. He is brutally murdered and thrown out the window of his apartment, and his wife, or girlfriend, fiance at the time, Shelley, is raped. So he comes back to life and vows his revenge to kill everyone in that gang, and then goes all the way to the top.
One of which is a guy from Hackers.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what was your first impressions on rewatch?
I've always loved this movie. I got into this movie back in when it came out, and it was more of a, I don't know, kind of that supernatural type dark thriller that I liked about it. The soundtrack, which Steve's going to get into, I love this soundtrack. This soundtrack is absolutely amazing. All the music I listened to back then as well. But it's one of those where it's fun to follow along. You hope maybe if you're any religious that a crow could take you to the land of the dead. I don't know. But it's good. It has a lot of action, a lot of gunfights. CGI is terrible. At the beginning where they're flying through the city, that fake fire that you see on the right hand side, it's pretty bad. But it's a good movie. I like it. Got into it a lot back then as well. Bearded Geek, what about yourself on the rewatch?
No, on the rewatch, it was a great movie. I love the dark. Would you consider this like noir type movie? Maybe a dark noir.
Kind
esque
of
type thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was one of those movies that,
Devil's Night.
has a lot of action. Yeah,
A lot of
it has a lot
violence.
of
A lot of violence in
action.
that city.
A lot of action, a lot of mystique around it. The thing I was waiting for the most was for him to join the Wolf Pack and go all red and black. I mean, but
Wolf packs back. But
dun, dun,
Look,
dun,
my roommate.
dun.
Well, it was after the fact that the Crow came out. He dressed up as Sting, and we joked to him because we thought he actually dressed up like Eric Draven from the Crow, and he's like, "No, I'm Sting," and I'm like, "No, you're not." Whatever.
But yeah, no, it's one of those fun movies. It's not a comedy whatsoever. But it is action packed.
Yeah.
I
Jokes are
enjoyed this
told.
movie.
There
Jokes
are
are
some funny. There's a couple funny
jokes
spots.
are told. Jokes are told, but it's not a comedy. I enjoyed this. I Ernie Hudson is in this movie,
Yep.
and Eric Draven is, I guess, kind of like a ghost. And it's funny that he actually asks him, "Are you a ghost?" So I'm like,
But folks, this movie's not a comedy.
no, it's not a comedy. That part made me laugh.
It's funny that he asks him, not a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it made me laugh because it's.
He should have said, "Well, who are you gonna call?"
But yeah, I enjoyed this movie on rewatch. It's definitely one of those movies that I enjoy. Steve, what did you think on rewatch?
You mentioned the soundtrack. I downloaded the soundtrack, and it's just a bunch of cawing. I don't quite understand. It's Kevin almost spits out his drink.
I'm glad I already had a drink.
Fun fact: I've never seen this movie. With that being said,
You never watched it either.
lots of action. His apartment, which in reality is an attic, it is featured in several movies. And I used to be able to tell you a bunch of movies, and the only one that I can think of right now is Baby's Day Out.
Yeah, it's almost like also in the new Wednesday television series, it kind of has that big circle window.
Yeah, but I'm saying the actual set that they used is in the movie Baby's Day Out.
I was like, there's some remnants, and also what was it? Well, I know it's not the actual set, but Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Sure, it's very similar to that.
Very similar. I'm
saying the actual set has been used in multiple movies where his apartment is, where he gets thrown out of the window. But the main one I could think of is Baby's Day Out. I know there are other movies, but right now I just cannot think.
Drawing a blank.
Well, if you guys can find it, let us know. I'd like to know.
Comments below.
I never knew they actually did it in a bunch of one, and I've seen Baby's Day Out. I didn't recognize it.
It's the attic. It's where it's the hideout for the bad guys. Gotcha. Because when they go, because they're in the thing and the choo-choo or whatever the fuck it is, I don't know.
Well, how'd it go?
Choo-choo.
Well, let's go ahead and get into actual ratings. Mikey the Freak, what would you actually rate this movie?
Bad graphics aside, the movie's a good movie. It's one of those movies you could recommend for nostalgia purposes. If you lived in the 90s, I'm sure a lot of people in the 90s watched this movie back then. I would go with a solid 8. Just because, like I said, I did watch the movie when it came out in theaters. I was listening to the music at the time when it came out, so I loved the soundtrack. I owned the soundtrack. Stone Temple Pilots was huge on this soundtrack. But it was great to reminisce watching the movie again. So yeah, solid 8 for me. What about you?
Very cool. I'm going to give it a 7.5 for the movie, but an 8 because it inspired Sting, Scott Hall seeing the Crow and told Sting he should dress up like that, and that's how he dressed ever since. So I'm going to give it an 8 just for that. So there you have it. So there you have it. That is what I'm rating this movie. Steve, how about you, sir?
Graphics aside, I'll give it a 7. It was
7.
It's a solid flick, but with the test of times and all the horrible sequels.
Actually, worse sequels.
I met Edward Furlong when he was promoting, I think, The Crow 2 or Crow 3.
Mm.
Yeah, was it City of Angels? I think it was, or something.
I don't know. I never watched.
I never watched them.
I haven't watched this.
No,
one, so.
I kind of wanted to, and I'm like, no, you should not. You should
don't
not
ruin The Crow.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
Yeah, folks, don't ruin Waxworks by watching Waxworks 2. Travis.
I did. It is
It's a good movie.
It is terrible. Absolutely
we'll find out
terrible.
when we review it later.
No, we won't.
I will call out sick.
We have to watch the first one before we can review the sequel.
That is the rule. That is
watch
the rule.
First one.
So all right. Watch the sequel.
No.
You already did.
I have some fun facts about The Crow. After Brandon Lee died, Ed Pressman brought in writers Warren Green, Terry Hayes, Renee Blanchard, and Michael S. Chunnett to rewrite scenes and dialogue to cover Brandon Lee's absence. Notably, they are responsible for the voice-over narration of the film. The producers didn't have any money or the space to shoot a car chase sequence, so they did it with miniatures instead.
That makes sense. It looked like it.
Brandon Lee celebrated his 28th birthday on the set of The Crow. He was given a cake and ice cream, which he could not partake in because he was on a strict diet due to his role. I bet he would have partaken if he knew it would have been his last meal.
Stop! Don't go there. Don't fucking go there. I knew it was going. Oh, he didn't have a chance to eat it because he was shot.
I mean, shouldn't the fact be Brandon Lee celebrated his last birthday on the set of The Crow?
Yep. His 28th birthday and his last birthday on the set.
I know we're making jokes, but it is sad that he lost his life on the set. It was. I think he would have been a great action actor if he would have been able to continue. Steve, what do we have for soundtrack?
All episode. The whole thing.
Movie. Okay. Burn by The Cure.
Burn.
Galactica Sentiment by Machines of Lovin'.
Spit it out. Spit it out.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Continue.
And that's the soundtrack.
Bullshit. There's some good songs on that song.
Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots. Yes. Dead Souls by 9 Inch Nails.
Yes.
Darkness by Rage Against the Machine. Color Me Once by Violent Femmes. Ghost Rider by Rollins Band. Milk Toast by Helmet. The Badge by Pantera. Slip Slide Melting for Love Not Lisa. After the Flesh by My Life with the
Thrill Kill Cult.
Snake Driver by the Jesus and Mar ... Time Baby 3 by Medicine, and It Can't Rain All the Time ... by Jane Siberry.
That's such a great soundtrack.
Well, yeah, there you have soundtrack.
Can't Rain All the ...
Mikey the Freak, what do we have for related reels?
Oh, let's see. Brandon Lee, this was his only movie. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Let's see. The Crow. Michael Wincott, that played Top Dollar. Strange Days. Great movie. Alien Resurrection. And Nope. Ernie Hudson. Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbuster Frozen Empire, Ghostbusters. I'm just kidding. All the Ghostbusters. Congo. Yes, Airheads. He was in Airheads, and he's in the new season of Quantum Leap. The new Quantum Leap, which is actually very good. I
wouldn't say the new season. He's in the new series.
New series of Quantum Leap. Man, he plays Magic, which is a character from the old series.
Whoa, spoilers!
Spoiler alert! It's great. When they announced that, I thought it was cool as shit. All right, and Tony Todd, the infamous Candyman. Candyman is in it. He's in The Rock, and then Final Destination. All of them, pretty much.
And then there is The Crows, and they were in
Crows, the Birds. They were in the
they
Birds.
They were in the Birds. They were in all of the Thor movies.
All the Thors, yes.
Jesus Christ.
They were in Crow City of Angels. Yes.
As we come to a close, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
That's the last crow that you'd want. We're crowing all the time. Tip the veal, try the stab. Thank you all for crowing, and if you didn't, better luck next time.
All right, make sure you check out all the other shows associated with Back to the Retro Review. But before you do that, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like and subscribe. And leave a comment. Make sure you check out Make sure you check out the Mod Squad Network, where we have a horror show, a movie show, a gamer show, interview show, and we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway.
What?
All right.
Amazing.
That does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Mikey the Freak and Steve, I am the Bearded Geek saying, if I don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
Can't rain all the time.